I'm Jackie Gurden from Gurden Consulting Limited, and I'm here today with David Kinane. We've been running workshops in social marketing and have partnered up to deliver those. I've really identified a need here on the West Coast where we don't receive the sort of information about things like social networking. A lot of people have thought that tools like Twitter and Flickr and Facebook are all things that they don't want to be a part of. You know, young kids do that sort of thing, and they're really missing business opportunities. So what we're really looking with the courses that we're running, is to show people how those tools work. And this isn't just about developing technology skills. This is about both economic and community development, and it's about growing these people's businesses. There are huge opportunities in markets globally, really, David, aren't there?
Yeah, absolutely.
And here on the coast, we've been missing those. People have been looking at the existing customers, particularly in tourism, that are coming through, and doing a lot of the promotion and the traditional methods, putting up a website and doing the usual thing of putting it on their brochures, on the
signage,
letterhead and the signage, and not thinking that you can actually connect tools like Twitter. And there's this whole new thing happening about how you put your website out there and direct traffic right back to it. David, you might like to talk with me about that.
Exactly, I was going to say, I mean, in rural communities, you know, the key word really should be social. These social media tools, social marketing tools, allow people to actually form together around and support each other. So, you know, there's kind of a potential, perhaps technologically anyway, to work in isolation. Although people work very closely together as communities in the physical world, and in the virtual world, they're not necessarily using or utilising those tools to work collaboratively together. And tools like Twitter and Facebook and other social media tools like YouTube enable communities of like businesses, like tourism for example, to work together to support each other, to actually ensure that information, trends, etc. can be spotted and potentially either maximised or minimised if there's a particular effect, to actually help, you know, keep communities bound together. Because obviously if you've got a vibrant business community in each of the communities up and down the coast here, for example, that means that people will be able to continue their lives here and try and minimise the effect of urban drift, because using tools like social media in a tourist setting would enable people to attract more business, to be able to spread their marketing net to a much wider audience and much more immediately from the use of these tools. And so there is clearly there's been a thirst and a hunger we've seen for these tools to be used. And once people have kind of got over their initial apprehension that these tools are not necessarily the tools I would think about using for my business, and they're just the kind of tools that young people use to talk and share information, once they see the potential for that, these collective lights go on and people are beginning to feel really empowered by the potential. They can see that there's a financial potential for these tools.
I think too, a lot of people don't realise how simple it is to use some of these tools.
No.
They look at things like YouTube, don't know how to do it, and when you show them here and it's sort of click, click, embed and what have you, or tweet this message out, and that whole thing about how you put something, you take something, you put it up on YouTube, or you get your customers to take their photos and to put those up on Flickr, and encourage them to link them back to your sites. And that's the sort of thing that it's actually simple. But
It is.
Well,
it is simple. The tools are very simple to use, but of course the power of these tools is to actually harness them to work together for you, driving traffic towards you know, the ultimate aim, which is, as we mentioned earlier on, your online digital marketing space, which probably is for most people their website. And so yeah, but it's the getting the clarity, the people, encouraging people to see, or helping them to see that these tools can be used simply and effectively, and in combination. So you don't just use one, but you develop a strategy, a social media marketing strategy that actually enables people to actually reach these wide nets beyond the region.
I think that word strategy too is what I've picked up listening to people today. It's been a mash of things, and they haven't thought strategy.
No.
They haven't thought, well, here's my website platform. How do I use these tools to come back to that? So I sell off my site and I put my my messages across, and we've clarified, these workshops have clarified that.
Yep.
They've showed them how easy the technology is to use,
and it's what is evident though is that once the light's gone on, once these people who are very passionate about their individual businesses have seen that they've seen the potential and seen the ease with which they can harness that potential, and I think that's the key thing.
Yeah.
It's it's not going to cost them thousands of dollars to set this up. It's going to it's going to take them effort to put these things in place, and there'll be a continual impact on time for them to use that. But they can see that there's a massive potential for them to actually increase their market share in their business.
And you see them going, oh, and we can do this, and we can do this, and all that. Yeah,
exactly.
It's just amazing.
It is turning the lights go on. It is watching the lights go on is incredible, and these people feel empowered. They feel as though they've kind of escaped the tyranny, if you like, of the perceived complexity of the technology. Absolutely, to actually feel empowered themselves to do this, and if they feel as though they're in control and in charge of the technology, they'll put it to its best use for their particular business, and that has got to be something that's got to be shared nationally.
Yeah. And I guess one of our other passions too is empowering the people. The intention of these workshops and why there's 2-3 day long is so that at the end of that the people can do it themselves.
Exactly.
They don't need to keep calling on somebody and paying significant amounts of money for things that, with understanding how they work and leaving them to do it themselves. It's all about that sustainability, so they can go away and they can do it, because people are scared to ring their web person. It's going to cost them an awful lot of money, and they could be doing it.
But the other side of that, of course, is that it's all very well being taught how to use the tools, but the tools themselves actually need to be used in combination with that strategy, and the strategy is the key to it. That people, once they know they've got set some clear aims and identified the tools that can help them reach those aims, and have actually strategized their whole initiative. The tools actually aren't the thing that's stopping them. The tools actually facilitate that ability for them to actually market themselves on a global scale, and that's what we're looking at really. Is basically how can we actually sell a bed and breakfast accommodation at some location to people in the UK, and that's what we're after before they come.
Yeah. And if people are interested in talking to us more about these workshops that we're running, contact us.
Yeah.
Gurden Consulting, www.gurdenconsulting.co.nz and
Kinane.com.
And we're happy to come in and help communities, because that's where we're really passionate about that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gonna do
Thank
it.
you. Yep.